when you
Exactly.
do these short-term rentals, what challenges have you faced with your short-term rental, and how did you overcome those challenges?
It's so funny you say this. I feel like there's a new challenge every day. Like today, for the first time ever at a property, I actually had to call the police because it was, I think, like someone who was kind of mentally unstable at the property. He had knocked and disrupted my guest. They kind of said he wasn't allowed in and locked him out. They messaged me, but then he turned off the main water line to the house. And so they had no water and they didn't want to go outside and engage with this man. So I had to call the police. So there's always a new challenge. Those types of things, I think if you are someone whose stress level is going to go from here to here when you get those types of messages or phone calls, I'd say like the Airbnb business is not a good one to be in unless you have a property manager. I self-manage all my properties. I love my husband to death. He helps me a ton with like the build out phase. He's a big numbers guy. But like if he were to get those messages or phone calls, his blood pressure would be up here. Like I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to deal with this. It's fine. It's chill. I think the biggest though, like that stuff is very minor. It tends to be like a blip in the road. Like my San Diego property, which I've only owned for a year, I'm already looking at okay, when I did that, when I furnished it the first time, when I had like 2.5 weeks, I did a really rushed job on it. I still think we did a really good job, but there's little things I would have liked to do that I didn't. I didn't wallpaper the bedrooms. I want to put in a ping pong table. I want to maybe take some of like put in a neon sign and a green wall. So there's a couple little extra things that I want to do now to make sure. Also, especially now that it's low season, October is like our deadest season of the year, the deadest month of the year. Like I want to make sure that I'm keeping that property looking really fresh and looking like a 10 and making sure that you don't just say, it's doing fine. It's kind of making money and letting it fall by the wayside because that shows. So I definitely want to go and we have a plan to stay there for a night this month and see have we lost some forks and knives? Do we still have enough plates? Have wine glasses broken? And so I think having that business mindset is a challenge that people don't think through with Airbnb. It's not just a set it and forget it kind of thing.
Absolutely. And I often say it this way, long-term rental is an investment. Short-term rental is a business on top of an investment.
Absolutely.
So with long-term rental, you can kind of sit back and relax. I mean, you can just go and make some, inspections and collect your rents. But with short-term
Yeah.
rental, you have so many check-in, check-out happening that you have to be on top of it. And it's interesting that you said you furnished it the first time and now you're looking at it again because, hey, when you first started, little do you know how this property is going to perform. And now that you have more data, more statistics, and you know how it has been performing, now you're trying to take it from X dollars to X plus Y dollars, right? So
Exactly.
yeah, absolutely. And we do the same thing. We kind of go back to our property. It's a nice little vacation. And plus,
Yeah.
you kind of get to check out your own property, so any maintenance issues that your cleaners or your handyman, they said they did it, but maybe they're still missing, or
Yep.
figuring out those missing wine glasses.